So today we are gonna talk about some basic features of the Python, data types, and so on. So as I have told you guys, I have created a data set here. Sorry, not a data set. You can say a Python file where I have already written few codes, few commands for you to save our time. So this is here. I will share this file and then you guys can practice it on. So here you can see there are few basic data types for your reminder, like integer. What is integer? Whole number such as 3, 300 and 200. Floating point. What is floating point? I have told you. We also call that thing floats. They are string data type, str. See, there are a command name. When we are talking about integer, int is the initial we use in our Python. For the floating point, we use float. For the string, we use str. What is string? String is ordered sequence of characters. We have already talked about that. List, dictionary, tuple, set, boolean. What is boolean? Okay. So these are, now we are gonna talk about few examples. Okay. So first one is integer. When we are talking about our integer, we know that whole numbers such as 3, 300 and 200, these are the perfect example of integer. So when we are doing this, you can see when we are running this, what we are doing here, we have given a command to Python that print 1. What we have, uh, what we received as an output. So when we are talking about some other functions like addition, you can see when we are trying to do print 2 plus 4, the output is 6. That's what we are doing here, addition. Okay, next thing is multiplication. These are the basic things. So that is not typical. If you guys have any doubts related to that, you can ask me. I am going little bit faster here. Next is multiplication. 12 multiplied by 3, 36. So these are some basic functions of Python, what we are doing here, type of calculations you can say. This is the divide function. When we are running this, I am using this function to run the commands. You can also use F9 for your shortcut. So when we are dividing 12 divided by 3, 4 is your answer. Now next thing is float. We are talking about our data types. So next is float. When we are trying to print 11.5, the output is 11.5. You can see here in our output pane. Now we are assigning a data x is equals to 55.45. You can see here the name we have assigned to the data set is x. Type is float because the data type is float here. Size 1, we have only one assigned value and the value is 55.45. So now when we are trying to print our data set X, the output is 55.45. You can see here. Is my cursor
Yes.
visible? You can see
Yes.
here.
The cursor is visible. Yes.
Okay, okay. Now when we try to give a command type X, you can see that the output is the type of data we have, float. So by the command type, you can check which type of data types, the values you have in your data set. Okay. So the next thing is complex numbers. See, this is a little bit important, I can say. What is a complex number? I think we have not talked about this in our previous sessions. So what is complex number? You can see the number which have a type of letters or something. uh, Chat is available. Can you see my message in the chat window, Ali?
Yes. And you wrote down hey. Okay.
Yeah. In system it's
Confusion.
available, but I think that's the problem in your phone version of your application, I guess. Because chat is open. I have not hide the chat window yet. You can rejoin by your phone, I guess, or try to restart your phone to fix this issue. Now it's okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so we are talking about our complex number. So whenever we have a value with the addition of something related to word, letter, and anything. So you can see here like a value, the whole value plus with that a letter or word. You can see here 2 plus 3, 3j. Like we have already know about AB, 3AB, and something like that in our mathematics. So this is the same example like that, 2 plus 3j. So when we are trying to give a command about that, the output is 2 plus 3j. You can see they like it is the simple thing. When we are talking about the type is complex here. So next thing is our boolean type. We already talked about that. What is boolean? When we are talking about true and false, these all of these type of data or commands or value is type of boolean. So now we are talking about our variable assignment rules. Okay, this is for you to remember. I'm skipping this part. This is the example, or you can say the definition of strings. Strings are the sequence of characters using the syntax of either single quotes or double quote. Because strings are ordered sequence, it means we can use indexing and slicing to grab the sections of the string. Indexing notation use square brackets. These actions uses square brackets as a number index indicate position. Okay, what is this is ordered sequence. Okay. Okay, when we are talking about our multi-line strings, we have already talked about a string feature, but this is the perfect example of multi-line string. What is multi-line? You can see when we are trying to like write a command or write a multi-line command or comment, whatever. So we are using hashtags again and again to like assign Python that these are the comment section. But now when we are talking about our multi-line string, you can see here we are adding like multiple quotes, three times quotes here. A is equals to, see, when we are assigning this value, you can see here we have created a new data set. A type is string still, but the size is 217. So this is our multi-line string example. When we try to give a command or give an input as a value, something like that, this data has three types of flower cases and so on. This is the perfect example of multi-line string, and you can see the value is visible here. This data is blah blah blah. So this is the perfect example of multi-line string. When we try to print that, we have got the same value here. The type is a string, the output is string here. Length, when we are talking about length, the length is 217. You can also see here size. Size and length is the same thing. Now next thing is syntax of indexing of strings. Okay. Start, stop, step. This is called slicing. Okay. There are some inbuilt features of Python. With this, we try to like slice the strings between, like you can see here, for example, start, stop, step. Okay. So what is start? Start is a numerical index for slice to start. Stop is the index you go up to, but not included. Step is the jump you take. For example, okay, there are no examples. These are the very basic things. You don't have to worry about that. So the next thing is accessing value in strings. So this part is little bit important. So we are assigning a new data set. Name is equals to Aditya. And now we are talking about values in strings. Okay. So now we are like trying to uh, get the output as print name 0. So what we are getting as a output is print name 0 is A. I think we have already talked about indexing thing. Sorry, accessing value or indexing thing. For example, Aditya is here. Wait a minute. Aditya. So what is the indexing? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So when we try to like print 0, what the output? What we have gotten output as A. The 0 is A. Now when we are trying to print name 3, what is the output we are hoping to get? T. Okay. Let's try that. See, the 3 is T. Now when we are talking about and we are trying to print name in a square brackets 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1 to 4. So can you guess what will be the output we got? Okay, let's try that. Yeah, you are right. The output is DIT. But when we are talking about print name -1, so what's the indexing here? What will be the output here? Can you guess? When we are talking about
Mm,
-1? Okay, so let's try. Now we have got an output as A. Can you guys tell me why we are getting A here for the -1? Can you guess
okay.
what if we are trying to get an output as print name -3 to -1? What's the output here if we try to do that? The output is TY. When we are talking about negative indexing, so -3 to -1. Okay. So when we are talking about our minus or negative indexing, the thing is we have already talked about 0, -1, -2, -3, and so on. So when we are trying to like get an output for -3 to -1, that means we are talking about -1 to -3. That's why we are getting T and Y. Because we are saying as a command -3 to -1. -1 is not included here. That's why the output is TY. You can see here. Is this thing clear? What is negative indexing?
Yes.
Okay. And now when we are trying to get the length of this, you can see the output is 6 because they have 6 letters in the name. So all of these things are clear. What is indexing? And we have talked about few data types. Now we have another Python codes set of codes. So there we are talking about few other things in basic things in Python like Python numbers, integer, float, complex. So this is a integer. Wait, let me delete all of these data sets. Yeah, so now you can see here, we are assigning a value a is equals to 5 as an integer. When we have run that, we have got a data set a is equals to 5 as a value, type is integer, size is 1. When we are trying to type a, the output is integer. The type of this data set is integer. Next thing is float. We have already assigned a value 2.0 as a float. When we are trying to get a type of that, that thing is float. Next is double A is equals to 1 plus 2j. The type is complex number. We have already talked about that. Next thing is strings. Okay. Name is equals to data science. Size is 12. Type name. The output is. Okay, sorry. The type of name is the data set. So we have got string. This is the string data type. Syntax of indexing strings. We have already talked about that. Yeah. So now the name hello. Okay, we have changed the value here. Name hello. Now we are trying to get an output print name hello. All of these are basic things. Name 0. Now here's the example of like indexing. 0 is H, 4 is L. 0, sorry. Okay. Fourth is O. Now we have talked about the like negative indexing, or you can also say reverse indexing. What is reverse indexing? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have already taken example of Aditya. Okay. So next thing is my string is equals to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. We have assigned a new data set. Now what is the type here? String. Length of my string is 11. You can also see here 11 my string. Indexing of a string. Now you guys gonna tell me what we will get for that. Okay. So this is my string in brackets to anything like whatever the maximum. Because you can see here we have not added any value to from 2 to whatever the thing is. So what will we get as an output? We are not talking about the name dataset. Now we are talking about my string. This is the dataset you can see here, my string A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So what will be the output? Okay, C, D, E. Let's see. You are right. Now when we are talking about from 6 to, okay, let's see. Because we have to make our sessions like
Okay, it's
interactable
okay.
also. So what will be the output of this from 0 to 7?
7, I think.
0 to 7. 0, 1, 2, 3,
0
4,
to
5, 6, 7.
7,
A to D, A to
8
G,
to J.
G, right? A to G.
Yes.
Now when we are talking
No,
about
8 to
8,
K.
A
Sorry,
to
8 to G.
H.
Yes. Yes. 8 to J. G.
A to H, not G.
H.
Now we are talking about 8th, right?
Uh,
Right? So you
yes.
can see
Yes.
here 0, 1,
Yeah.
2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes.
7, 8. Eighth number is
Yes.
H. Now, when we are talking about my string 2, from 2 to 2 to 2, so what's the output here?
2 to
Nothing.
2. Okay.
The output is nothing. Why? Because the command is telling Python to go to give us an output as 2 to 2. So what is the 2 to 2? 2 is the
Instead,
C thing. C.
okay.
That's why the output is nothing. Are you asking something?
Mhm.
Okay. Also, next thing is my string -1. Okay.
Using K to A. Oh,
Yeah, you are right. K to A. From 0 to -1. That means K to A. K to A. -1. Now, next thing is n used to get a new line. Okay, you can see when we try to give an input as a value and add n world. So what is that will do? See, hello world. By that n means of that thing will add to the new line. If we try to print only this thing without n, then the output is hello world, right? But when we add n into that bracket, sorry, /n, that thing will be get an output as hello world. That means hello is in another line and world is in new line.
yeah.
Okay, so that is the use of /n. What is /t will do? You can see here. /t means add a additional space
But
into the line or add a additional space into the string value. You can see this. Here's the additional space, right? Is this thing clear? Why we use /n or why we will use /t? These are the some basic, you can say, prefix to do something in string types of data sets. Ali, okay. Is this thing clear? You are not audible. Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay.
These things are cleared. Why we use /n
Yes,
/t?
please.
Okay.
Slash N new line slash T additional space.
Yeah, yeah. When you do a practice of that, that thing will be cleared in your mind very easily. Like you have to do practice of that. Why we use /n? Why we use /t? That's why I have created this code already to not waste our time. Because if we write one by one and these commands, that thing will take a lot of time, right? So the next thing is string immutability, right? We have assigning a value name is equals to Sam. Name is equals to Sam. The input is here. Now the last letters is equals to name. Okay. So with the help of this command, what we are doing here, we are assigning a new data set. Last letters is equals to name. What we are doing here, we are only taking a letters from 1 to infinity. So what we are getting as an output AM 0, 1, 2. That's why we are only getting AM as a new data set by the name last letters. If we have already talked about concatenation, what is concatenation, what is the how we can add anything. So what we are doing here, P
In
as a
the
string.
time.
Yeah, so that thing will add P into our data set. So you can see here the output is PAM. P
Yeah.
plus last letter is PAM. If we try to add anything else like Z plus last letters, the thing is ZAM,
That A.
right? So it will help us to Like add any type of string, letter, word to another string. The function is called concatenation or concat, you can say. We have already talked about that in our theory part. So our next thing is 2 plus 3. You can see 23. This is the another example of concat function. Okay.
Okay.
Here we are assigning a value hello world. X is equals to hello world. So length of the X is 11. Output is 11. You can see. Now we are using some basic functions like uppercase. We have already talked about these things in our in our last session, few things, and we have already talked about that. Only me and you when Piyush have not joined the session. So what is the uppercase when we try to convert our data set into a uppercase or a capital
Capital.
to a capital letter? Yeah, that's when we use the upper function x. What we are doing here, x dot upper function. So you can see the output is hello world in a uppercase value, right? When we try
Yes.
to use lowercase function, the
Okay.
string is hello world in a lowercase. Now
Lower.
you can see we are not changing the value here. The value is still same, but only we are trying to get an output as a print. See, we are only
Yes.
getting the
Dash
print. The
out.
value is not changing.
Yes.
When we trying to split, oh, sorry, you can see both words have splitted in a different strings value. Now we are changing the value. X is equals to hi. This is a string. You can see hi. This is a string.
Mm.
And now we are trying to split I from the these this value. So when we try to do that, first we have a value. Hi, this is a string. Now h th s string. So what we are doing here, we have already removed every I
I.
from the string value. Okay, so these functions are very basics but very useful. So our next thing is print hello.
Yes.
So now print formatting with strings. What is the format function? We are talking about format functions. Syntax, okay. So for that we use curly brackets as a syntax. So now what we are doing here, print. This is a string, curly brackets, format inserted. So what the output is? This is the string inserted. What we are doing here, we are we have given a command to print this is a string curly bracket format inserted. So we have added a format inserted into the string, right? And
Okay.
now we try to format everything in a number like print the 210. So what is the format of that 210? Format is fox brown quick.
Around. Yes. Okay.
So you can see here the output is format. Okay, I think
Okay.
I have got it. The bracket is not here. Syntax issue.
Yes.
See, the output is now the quick brown fox. The quick brown fox.
Around.
What we have done here? We have done or we have assigned a format value to each of these words. 0, 1, 2. 0, 0 is quick, 1 is brown, 2 is fox. So
Okay.
that's why when we print this, the string is already 210. That means the quick brown fox. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
0 is fox, 1 is brown, and 2 is quick. Wait a minute, where's my pen? So you can see. we have assigned a format 210, right?
yes,
If this is a 0, this is a 1, and this is 2, the format will look like 210, right? That's why the
yes,
output is quick, brown,
around
fox.
first.
I think now you have cleared what's the format function and what is the use of the format function, right?
If
Okay. So the next thing is,
result
sorry, result is equals to 100 divided by 777. So we are assigning a value as a calculation, as a result by the name result. So we have what we are doing here 100 divided by 777, the output as saved as a variable here. You can see 0.128700 and so on. Now what is the result? Result is 0, 1.28. You can see here in our output pane. Now the thing is we are doing here print the result was R. Now we are using the format function in our float type of data, right? So what we are doing here, the result was R, format R is equals to result. So what is this function is doing here? You can see as a output, the result was 0.128, blah, blah, right? So what we are doing here as a command, the result was R as a string, right? This is a
right,
string. The result was R. R is a format. So what we have done here, we have used a command, we have used a function for dot format, and we have given a input as in R is equals to result. Now we know result is this. So that's why when we try to print that, the result was 0.128.87. Now, when we try to change, for example, or for an experiment, when we try to change this value and try to run this again, you can see the input or variable is changed, the result is changed because of that, right?
yes,
Now, when we try to print that, the thing is the format is changed because we are
change,
using the result dot format R is equals to result function here. Whatever the result is, that will add it to this string, the result was, right?
right,
Uh, I have worked on a project where I have to create a like function like that, a Python function for a university for their students to calculate results easily. So that format function will help me, like have worked me, help me to do that thing. Because they have around 3,000 to 4,000 students in their university, and they knew that the formatting function for each of the student is not easy for them. But for us, like with the help of that particular format function, that thing is easy. What we have done there, we have only see they have provided us the results, right? As this, for example, we have multiple students by name A, B, C. For example, I am telling you A, B, C, and so on. These are the students, right? And the result is, for example, as a marks or percentage of marks, right? Marks in
okay,
percentage. So A by the name A student, it has 88%, 80%, he has 88%, he or she anyone 98%. So they have given us this data that this is the results of each of the student, right? And we have
yeah,
something around 3,000, 4,000 students. What we have done here, we have assigned a variable as so on result, right? So the results are added into a single data set, and we have formatted these data set like that. That is if and there we have also used the if else function. If we are gonna talk about that also. What is if else function? So the thing is, if the person or a student have more than 60% of marks, that means he is passed by the first division. If the marks is between 50 to 60%, that means they are getting a second division. And if the marks is lower than 50%, that means the student have got passed by third division. But if the marks are lower than 30%, that means the student was failed. So just we have created a few lines of codes like around 8 or 10, and we have uploaded the data set, and that thing is done. Like we don't have to use any other library or something like that, because the format function is here. So that is the perfect example and biggest use case of format function when we are using a data set or type of data set where we have to add format to that. This function will help us a lot. Okay, is this thing cleared? Now, the next thing we are doing here is print the result was R10.6. Okay, now we are using that function into a complex number. So you can see the output is the result was 0.150150. Why we are only getting 150150 both times? Because we are using complex number here. The result was R is equals to inverted commas or ratio, you can say 10 to 6f, 10.6f. So after that, what this command is saying, after the dot,
Okay.
so you can see here after the dot, the command is saying only take 6 of the values. This f means value. Okay. So that's why you can see the after the dot, after the like
6.
0
Okay.
point, we are only getting 6 output of numbers, because this
Okay.
result is very long, 150, and so on. This is the unlimited number. That's why the output is the result was 0.150150. That's it. Okay. So this is the example of format function on the complex number thing. Is this thing clear? Okay. So now the thing is f string literals. What is f string literals? Name is equals to Sam. Age is equals to 5. Now you can see here. Name is equals to Sam. Age is equals to 5. Sam is a string. Age is our uh, integer. Right?
Yes.
Print f name is age years old. Now what we are doing here, we are also using f function here. You can see f function here. Now what's the output here? You can see Sam is 5 years old. In output pane, you can see Sam is 5 years old. What we are doing here, we are printing two different values or variables into a single string with the help of f string function. So we have used f, name is age years old. And now I have a question for you. If we have assigned multiple different values in our name dataset and different ages in our age dataset. What's the output here? What if we add different age and names here? What's the output? After
Different
using this,
age and names, I think it used the new name.
now it is a tuple data set. What we have to do? Mm, so on, this is just an example. We have to move forward. I will tell you what if these multiple values are there. No problem. I have to create another data set for that. So now you have seen here that when if we try to, sorry, when we try to print that Sam is 5 years old, the result is Sam is 5 years old. If there are multiple names or multiple ages in our data set is available, so this that type of data set will called as list or tuple. And I am trying to do that in our string, but it's not possible, I guess. So our next thing is list. Lists are ordered sequence of elements that can hold different data types object. We have already talked about that. We have assigning a new value. List is equals to 1. Now I have told you guys that in a list we can use integer and float both, string and also integer both. So you can see print list 1. There are data, Python data science to the 2013, 2018. When we try to print list 1, this is the list. Now we are assigning a new value as list 2 is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. List 3 is A, B, C, D. Okay. So you can see in a list, we can add both of the values. For the list to assign values as a list, we have to use square headed brackets, right?
Yes,
Also, this is a type of list. Python class is equals to, Mhm. Yeah, you can see this is the type of list. Now we are changing the value of list 1 of basics 2014 and 18. Now print list 1 0. Okay. List 1 0 of. See, this is the indexing in list 0. When we try to print list 1 0 of, print list 1 minus 3. What is the list 1 minus 3? List 1 is
and
here.
one
What will be
is
the minus 3?
basic
Yeah,
and off
basics. Only
on
basics.
basic. Only basic. Okay.
Now we are assigning a new value, my list 1, 2, 3. My list 1, 2, 3. Where's the my list? My list is here. You can see in our variable pane. Now, what if we try to give an output as my list 2? What is 2 there? 3, right? When we
Yes.
try to get an output of my list 2 as an indexing feature, the output is 3. From 1 to unlimited, 2, 3. Now, this is our append feature. See, this is the important function or feature we have in our Python. Append. Now,
And
if we want to add a initial value in or variable into our, sorry, a value into our variable. So what we are doing here in the data set my list, we are append, we are adding 4. So what you can see here now, for now we have three different values in our my string data set, sorry, my list data set, 1, 2 and 3, right?
actually, yes.
Now when we use this function append, you can see the 4 is added here. When we try to print my list now, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can see in your output pane, right? To remove any of the item or any value from the list, we have to use dot pop function. My list pop 4. See, we have used pop function and it has already removed the last value in our data set, right? When we
Okay.
try to uh, dot pop, try to remove 0, that means it will remove our 1 from the data set. See, 1 is removed. When we try to pop -1 from now, that will remove 2. Sorry, 3. Okay, -2.
Okay.
Now
That's good.
my list has only one single value, 2, right? Now we are using a function my list reverse, my list short. Reverse and short are the functions like you can say see we have to now we can see my list reverse, my list short. The reverse function is used for when we have you can say multiple uh, integer values in our list. Okay. So when we use a reverse function, it will reverse all of the values into a ascending value in ascending manner. Okay. When we try to short, it will short from in like sorry integer value from like in a ascending value. You can see here when we try to assign a value list to 13, 42, 53, 34, 25, and we are using list to short function, what will we do here? Now we have to print list 2 after the short function. You can see this is all of these values are in ascending format: 13, 25, 34, 42, 53, 79, and 86, right?
Yes.
This is the function of use of short function. When we try to use reverse here also, reverse list to list to reverse. See, and when we try to print again, you can see all of these values are now reversed. You can see this is an ascending order and this is an descending order now, right? Is this thing clear? What is the use of
Yes.
short, reverse, pop,
Yes.
and append? We have missed this extend function. Extend will also use as you can see when we try to my list extend. See, append is used for to add a particular value into a data set or into a variable. But when we use extend function, it will work as when you can see we have given a command mylist dot extend 5. So what it has done here, you can see all of the letters into the 5 value, it has created a different string for that: string f, string I, string v, string e, right? So that is
Right.
the use of extend function, and that is the basic difference in between append and extend. So now this is clear: dot reverse, dot short, dot pop, extend, and append. What are the use of that? Okay. Now we
Okay.
are trying to use append function into our integer data set list 2. You can see we have added 100 into this. Now we are also using extend into there. So you can see 1 to 1 is added as a different string values. You can see here. These are not
Yes.
integer. These are our integers, but when we use extend and as a string, so the function will also use this thing as a string into our list data set. Type is still list, but the data sets are string and integer both. Now we are printing list 2. List 2 is here. Now it is saying list 2, print list 2 from 0 to 3. From 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 86, 79, 53. That is 0 to 3. Now we are assigning a value list 1 Python basics was 2013 and 2018. Print list 2, print, sorry, print list 1, 2. That means 0 to 2013. List 2 is equals to 2, 2, 3, 4. What we are doing here, we are changing the initial value. For now, list in a list 1, in our list 1, you can see this particular data set. In a list 1, ah, आ रहे हैं, एक minute. In our list 1, our second value is
Okay,
2013,
well,
right? You can see here.
yes.
Now we are changing this value to 22334. Okay, and now you can see here the value is changed as list 1. Where is list 1? See, the value is changed as 22334, right? You can see also here. When we try to change this value again into 888, yes, so we can,
Okay.
you have seen here, we have assigned a value and change that value accordingly, right?
Okay.
Now we are changing this value again 828055, and you can see print the value is changed to 8055. Now you can see k is equals to 105e5. This is our new value, right? Now I have told you, we have already talked about this in our last session. I think you are not present there. PU is there. When we use dot 5e5 or the power function, star power, that means we are trying to calculate a power of that particular number. You already know about that, I think, what is the power of any number. K is equals to, you can see here, K is equals to 5e5, 10.5e5. You can see 10, 5e5 means 5, 5, the power of 5. You know what is the power of any number, like square root thing? You know
Um,
that, right? 2 to
Five.
power
Yes,
2
yes, yes,
is equals to 4, right?
yes,
Like that. So when we
yes.
are using this function, that means we are using a power function here. You can see there's, I have already written a calculation there. So you can see that when you are practicing on that. Now when we try to print that, the value we have is 10, 5, and 4 times 0 0.0. Now when we use double star, that is the another option to use power function, double star, 9 power 10. 9, the power of 2, sorry. You can see 81. When we try to square root 9, the output is 81, right? 9, the power, sorry, 9, the power is 2. So output is 81. 9, 9 nines are 81, right? This thing is cleared. What is the power thing?
Yes, actually.
Okay. So now you can see these are the different example of using function power. 9 star star 2 power 9 comma 2. This is the same thing. Now we are assigning a value y is equals to 9 the power 2. The output is saved as 81. Y data set is here. You can see here 81. Now we are trying to print y 81. K. K is our 10. K is equals to 5. K is equals to 5. It changes to K is equals to 5. We have changed the value of K. Now you can see X to S star K. Now what we are doing here, X is equals to 2 multiplied by K. That means 2 multiplied by 5 is equals to 5 to the 5 to the 10, right?
Yes,
So we have assigned a new value by name X as 2 multiplied by K. K is our 5. You can see here. That's why the output is 10 here. Now into the list 1 basics. List 1 basics, you can see 0 is equals to basics. 0 is equals to basics. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are trying to change the indexing of particular uh, variable. So what we have here Python basics 8055 2018 but when we try to do that we have changed Python into basics again, right? If we try to change that one and write here pythons, right, and run that, you can see the value of that is changed to pythons.
okay.
Try to print one basics pythons, the value is changed. Now list one is same again as a first command, print list one, delete list one. Now delete function is used to delete any of the variable. List one is deleted, you can see here. Now list one is nothing, name list one is not defined. That means list one is not available with us, right? And if we try to delete list 2 and 3 so on, you can see delete list 2 is deleted. When we try to delete list 3, list 3 is also deleted from our variable pane, right? So this is
Oh,
the function to delete a variable one by one. Now we are using append function into a list. A list is equals to 1, 2, 3, XYZ, Zara, ABC. We are assigning a new value as a list. Now we have to add 2009 into this. So we are using append function. You can see 2009 is added. You can see here also as a output. We have to add 444 also. We have added that. Again printed. 444 is added. Now we have to remove any value. That's why we are using pop function. A list pop. That means 444 will remove. A list print a list. 44 is now removed. Right?
oh,
Now they are saying remove index number 2. That means Zara. Zara is now removed. You can see the updated one is 123 XYZ ABZ 2009. Okay. Now we are trying to insert something. Insert 3 2010. Inserted into that. Print a list. You can see 2010 is added into the index number of 3 after 2. When we have a value, you can see here, these value we have 1, 2, 3, XYZ, Zara, ABC. We have popped 2, we have removed Zara. When we try to insert 2010 on the number 3, you can see we have added that into the place of 3. Okay. Now we are trying to insert Anjali in the index number 2. And now we have to print that. You can see the Anjali is in the place of number 2. First we have on the 2 of is ABC. Now we have Anjali on the place of 2. So you know what is the use of, you are cleared, like what is the use of insert function?
Yes.
Okay. Now the thing is extend. What is extend? I have told you a list 1, 2, 3. We have assigned that a basic thing. Assigned a new value by name blist. Blist 2009 in Benelli. Now we have to extend the list into a list. Now we are using a function extend to add these values of B list into a list, right?
Okay.
What we have do is here, Benelli, B list, extend A list. So you can see the numbers of A list is added into the B list already. You can see here, right? Now we are A list, append B list. We are adding that, append. You can see A list. We have added everything on the B list into our A list already as a different values. Now the thing is A list dot extend B list. Now you can see each of the value is added as a single value. When we try to append that, all of these value are added into a one single string or as a list. But when we use our extend function, each of the value from list B is added into a individual value 2009, Benelli 123, XYZ, Tommy, ABC 123. Right?
Right.
Now you know the difference between append and extend.
Extend, for example, is PLIST, but append list
The the use
at
of
will.
extend is to add each of the value into a
Yes.
individual manner, right?
Right.
Now we are using reverse function again. Now for example we have a list like look like this 1 2 3 and so on. When we try to reverse that, see, when we try to reverse that, all of the uh, 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 integer values have a reverse manner, right?
Right.
When we try to short that, b list is equals to 8994533. B list short, reverse false. See, b list print. You can see when we try to reverse that into a false manner, what we are getting here, shorted that into a ascending manner, but not reversed. Okay. When we
Okay.
try to reverse that, it will as 99, 45, 33, and 8 into a descending manner now. This is a simple function. Now we are getting a list 1, 2, 3, XYZ, Zara 111, a list count Zara. Now the function count uh, is used as to count a perfect number of index. For example, you can see Zara is on number 2, 0, 1, 2. Right? That's why the
Yes.
output is 2 here. Now we are saying print a list dot count. 1. Like we are asking in a list A, count number 1 is on which index. So they are saying, okay, how many times a number 1 is presented in our
Is
data set. So you can say 1, 2,
10.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We have 10 times 1, right? That's why the output is 10 here. So the count has two different uses. The function dot count has two different uses. You can also check the index number of that, or if you want to check a particular value repetition number, you can also check that. If we add few more one here and try to save that, and then we count the output. What? The output is now 14. We have added 4 1 more, right? But when we try to A list count Zara, Zara is still on number 2. Is this thing clear? The use of count clear?
Yes.
Okay. For now, I will try to delete all of these variables. See, now we have C is equals to 3 plus 6J. This is the complex number. Print type C, complex. Now list 1 have Python 2018 C true to 3.56. This is another data set with the value as complex number, Boolean number, float, integer, string. They have 5 types of data. String, integer, complex, Boolean, and float, right?
Yes.
We are assigning a new value as list 88. Same. Now, list 1 is equals to Python 6 plus 2j true. Okay. List 2 is 2300. Okay. Now we are extending using function dot extend into a list 1 to extend that into list 2. See, list 2 is extended into a list 1. List 2 have some values and it is in extended into a list 1, right? Into a individual manner, you can see. Yeah. So we have talked about this extend function. Now the next thing is print list 1 count 2300. So you can see list 1 1 2 0 1 2 3 and 4 5. This is the count number 5. What? List 1, list 1. Okay, 2300 is a repeated value. Okay. That's why the output is 2. Right. Now this is statics. This is our statics. Declaring a simple data set. Okay. These are our few positive integers. Like we are creating a new set now. Set. Now you can see here we have a set values. See, when we have talked about our set thing into our theory part, I have told you in a set, we cannot duplicate multiple values. So you can see here, we have assigned few values as 2 times 3, 3 times 4, 2 times 5 and 6. But the set have only a single time each value, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right? Now we are trying to create a data set list 1, 1 and 2, list 2, 1 and 3. List 1 as set, set list 1. List 1 as set, set list 1. Okay. List 1 as set, list 1, set. Okay. What we have done here, We have
Okay.
converted a list into a set. As a name, list as set, set list one. See, this is list. We have converted into
Yeah.
a set. Now the function intersection is equals to list one as set intersection list two. So what we are doing here, from the list one, from the list one and two, we have checked that we have same values and created a new data set by name intersection. You can see here in a list one we have one, in a list two we have one. That's why the intersection is made as number one value only, right? Now if we try to assign value as 1 2 3, set 1, set 2 have 190. Now list is equals to set 1 intersection set 2. For example, intersection we have one in both, only one have both. Okay. So you can see when we created a list intersection, only one is saved as intersection here, right? So dot intersection function is used for to take same values from the different set or list and make another data set, or you can also say subset. This intersection function is have created a subset of that. These are type of subset, right? We have already talked about subset. What is subset? Clear, Dali? So you can see intersection is used for find common elements of the set and list. What is the common bit in between of both data sets or both variables? Now you can see here intersection as list, list intersection as list. Okay, no problem. Print intersection as list one. Now Python program for union function. What is union function? You can see here. Set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set 2, set 3. These are two different data sets. Set 1, set 2, and set 3. Union of set. What is union of sets now? We are giving in a command print set 1 U stands for union. Okay. Set 2. Set 1 union set 2. Now we are assigning set 1 dot union. We are using dot union function set 2. So our output is set 1 union set 2 2 4 5 2 4 5 6 7 8 2 4 5 6 7 8. In a set I have told you we cannot repeat any value. That's why the output have this value 2 4 5 6 7 8. But we have some numbers uh, in a repeat mode like 4. We have 4 in set 1 and set 2 both. 6 have both times. But in our output you can see we have only got a single number 2 4 5 6 7 8. So this is the example of union number. What is union number? What union function have done here? They have created a union output here. We can also use this function to assign a new data set. But for now, we are not doing that. We are only getting an output, for example. Right? Now we are seeing union of three sets. Union of three sets. Set 1, set 2, and set 3. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is this thing clear? What is dot union function?
Okay.
Okay. Now we have tuples. Tuples are very similar to the list. However, they have a key difference, which is immutability. Once an element is inside the tuple, they cannot be changed or assigned. List is represented by square brackets and tuple is represented by square-headed, sorry, round brackets. So you can see here, when we are working with list, we can change the values, right? We can use the append function, we can use the extend function. But when we are talking about tuples, we cannot do that. So you can see here, when we are talking about tuple. Create a tuple data set first. First of all, I am deleting all of these variables. Tuple 1, tuple 2, and tuple 3. You can see all of these data sets are type of tuple. Tuple also have different type of values into their own string, integer, right?
Right.
When we are talking about type 1 tuple, this is the tuple data set. Now we are trying to get some indexing number of that. Tuple 2, what is tuple 2? Daytona. What? Really? Tuple 1 have two number on tuple. What? Okay, sorry. This is the signal 0, 1, and 2. My bad. Now we are using count and index. T is equals to. Now we are using count function on the tuple. For example, 3. What we are doing here, we are trying to count A, how many times we have A, that the output is 3 now. When we are talking about index function, T index A, like this is asking on which number, the index number of this A are. So it is 0. You can see they have 0. Index of number C, sorry, the C index number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Right? You can see here. I think indexing is very much clear to you. We have seen multiple examples of indexing. Now they are creating a new data set. My list 1, 2, 3. My list 0 is equals to new. Okay, 0 they have changed 0 into another value to new. My list print new. 1 is changed into new. Assigning a new variable. T1 is equals to 1, 2, 3. T1, 1, 2, 3. Type T1 tuple. Data set is tuple type. T1 0. T1 0 means 1 new imputability. You can see this is the example that we cannot change values into tuple. When we are working on my list, 1 is changed into new, right? But when we are working on tuple, the 1 is not changeable. The output is tuple object does not support item assignment. You can see here, right? Write an empty, create an empty tuple. You can create an empty tuple or list sometimes. Tuple 1, you can see it is created. Create a single tuple, 50. Tuple 1 is changed into 50. Street triple Daytona Denali, okay, changed. Print tuple 1 0, street triple tuple 1 0 is equals to 99. See, we cannot change the value, available values. We cannot change the street triple into 99. Right? Now we are
Right.
creating a new data set. See, you can modify the data set, but not the value itself. You can see here the tuple 2 data set have different numbers. The history we can check. Tuple 2, tuple 2, tuple 2, tuple 2. See, when we worked on tuple 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now we have added some values into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The values are added. You can see here output and you can also check this tuple. The values are added, but we cannot change the values. We can add them. We can add more values to the tuple, but we cannot change them. When we try to print tuple from the index number 1 to 6, 1 to 6 is 2 from 6, 2 to 6. Tuple 2 append tuple 1. Okay. Updating tuples, tuple 1. Uh, See, we can update the data set. Tuple 2, tuple dot append. Okay, this is the example. So create a new tuple as follows. Tuple 1 is equals to tuple 1 plus 2. So what we are doing here, we are creating a new variable by adding two different tuples, tuple 1 and tuple 2. So you can see we have added tuple 2 into a tuple 1. That's why tuple 1 have both values from tuple 2 also, from tuple 1 also. Print tuple 1, you can see here both values. Delete tuple elements to delete values from tuple, or delete elements from a tuple. You can see tuple is equals to this data, print tuple. When we are trying to delete that, we can delete that. Also, print after deleting tuple. You can see tuple is not defined. These are some basic tuples operations. You can check that later for practice. Or for today, I'm only giving you a data set till there, not from tuples. Okay, till print. Okay, I'm creating a new py file.